Hello, my beautiful and talented people. Thank you to everybody who's been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and booking readings. I appreciate you all. I am doing another giveaway at 8,000 subscribers. So be subscribed and comment, and you're in the running for that. Again, I will be giving out 2 as soon as I hit 8,000 subscribers. I really appreciate you all, and let's give you some advice for the next 7 days. Also, if you do want to contact me, my email's in right below the timestamps in the description, so just make sure you use that. And my gorgeous tarotings, time to move on to pile number 1. So pile number 1, my beautiful and talented people. Advice for the next 7 days. Advice for the next 7 days for the gorgeous pile number 1. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. I feel like you're supposed to be taking some kind of action about something that you care about. You may be experiencing some fear, but you should know even though it might be scary to be acting on your emotions, it's bringing you to like balance, peace. I feel like you need to know that things are getting better. Yeah. You may be walking away from something that is unfulfilling. This may be something that causes you a lot of fear and anxiety, but just know that what you're heading towards is healing. We've got the Page of Swords. Are you looking at something? Are you observing? I feel like you should be careful about your communication. Because you could communicate in a way that could be hasty, could be, you might be right, but it's one of those things where if you don't say it right, you may not be received. So I feel like you should be careful about just don't be too hasty with your words. But ultimately, I see you having to kind of overcome some kind of fear to walk away from something that is unfulfilling. That being said, it may not feel like it, but right now, this is an opportunity for healing, for blessing, for balance, for things to really honestly get better. And I feel like you do need to take action on something that you care about. Clarity on the Page of Swords. Yeah, Jack of Cups. I feel like it's going to be a lot more important for the next 7 days for you to be kind than for you to be right. It's not that you should just let anything happen, but if you need to err between kindness or really getting your point across, you should be aiming for kindness. So my gorgeous and talented pile number 1, advice for the next 7 days. Advice for the next 7 days. 3 of Cups. This is not necessarily for all of you, but for some of you, you may be leaving behind a third-party situation. Tower. Now, the Tower is never a great card to see, but you may have a Tower moment that will help you walk away from something that's just not fulfilling for you. That Tower is leading you towards healing. It is leading you towards, this is actually the next card in line in the Major Arcana. Tower is when things fall apart that are just too unsteady, too unstable to stand. 444 was on the timer right then. So 4 might be significant. Also, 4 is about stability. So this is, just know that if something ends, it was because it was not stable enough to stay. You are moving into blessings. You are moving out of difficulty into healing. Advice for the next 7 days for the gorgeous pile number 1. 4 of Wands. Just know that, especially if it's a relationship that falls apart, it's falling apart so you can have a really steady and stable and celebratory relationship, but it will be much more stable. So just know just know that if things are being cleared away, if you're having to walk away from something that is unfulfilling for you, even if it happens to be like a job or any other kind of relationship, like a friendship, just know that sometimes things are falling away for your best and highest good, so that you can have this joy and stability. King of Swords. King of Swords can be about boundaries, looking at, having the truth be something very important. And I do get, like, there might be a need to communicate some truth, but I feel like it's just, even if you're moving away from something that is unhappy, unfulfilling, it's going to serve you better to stay, in this more kind area. But are you the King of Swords? Are you dealing with the King of Swords? I feel like there's somebody that's very intelligent, very cerebral. This might be you. There might be somebody that is having to make a choice. I mean, I do see you acting about something that you care, but there's also this separation between heart and mind. So, clarity on the King of Swords. Ace of Pentacles. There's going to be some kind of new beginning. You're going to be moving away from instability into stability. Some of you, is this a new person? Is this somebody that you're walking away from? I feel like for a lot of you, 222 is on the clock right now. So again, that's choices. I feel like you're going to make some very impactful choices. However, some things that aren't, they might be fun, but they're not serving you. Some of those things are going to go away. Whether you choose to walk away from it or whether the situation destroys itself. So there may be a need to look at things very clearly. I feel like you should still act in a really heart-focused way, but really just things are clearing out for your better and greater good. So anything you lose right now, it may not feel like it because it's the Tower and towers aren't fun, but it's just being cleared out so that you can have better, so that you can have wish fulfillment, so you can have balance, so you can have stability. So I feel like a lot of you are going to be experiencing blessings in disguise. Advice for the next 7 days for the gorgeous pile number 1. There's going to be... This is going to be a good time to be putting energy and effort into something that you want to build up. I would concentrate on something that's very personal to you. because some situations, are going to fall to the wayside for you. You are going to have a decision about what you do moving forward, who you deal with moving forward. And you are healing. You are moving into a place of healing. It's very important to know what you want, because you are manifesting a new successful beginning. And knowing what you want is going to help you manifest exactly that. And we've got the 2, the 3, and the 4 of Pentacles. So I feel like do what you can to make sure that whatever you're losing, it's not serving you, at least not in the long term. So make sure you know what you want, whether it's a really secure job, whether it is your own business, whether it is a relationship that is really steady, stable, healthy, because you're in the process of manifesting it. You're in the process of healing. And you are going to have to put some practical energy and effort towards that. King and Queen of Swords are now on the table. So some of you, like if you know what you want, you're going to be manifesting a match. So whether it is a match in a romantic sense or a match in something else, but something's going away. It's something that was not stable enough. Faith. Have it even when the answer is uncertain. So just know that even though you're feeling things falling apart, like there's reason to have faith, and things are ultimately moving you towards home, safety, happiness, stability out of instead of instability. It may not feel like it, because you are going to, the things that don't serve you, you may not be able to hold on to anymore. Be present. So, be present in the now. Deal with what is in front of you. Have faith. Even if you don't know how this is playing out, it really is playing out for your greater good. Advice for the next 7 days for the gorgeous pile number 1, surrender. Yeah, again, some things are leaving your life. Let them go, because those things have to go for the kind of future that you do want. And the broom, sweeping away things, surrendering, walking away from things that are unfulfilling, moving on emotionally. So you're going through an enormous transformation. This transformation is for your healing. It is for your greater good. It is moving you away from things that don't serve you into healing, into wish fulfillment. But change is necessary. So I've got the Cloud. So there's a reason why faith is being put out here, because you may not fully be able to see the road ahead of you, but just know that walking away from what is not good for you is the right direction. And moving forward emotionally is the right direction. And sweeping away what doesn't serve you, and releasing any situation that isn't holding on to you. It's not that you need to let go of everybody, but if somebody is not taking care of you, not looking out for you, like whether it be a job, whether it be anything, just know that the things that are too unstable to stand are going to be cleared away. And it's every all change is scary, but you're moving towards healing and wish fulfillment and moving forward and letting go of what doesn't help. For somebody, Pennsylvania, the state came up. So I've got a bunch of letters on this one. So give me a second and let me collect them. So I've got J, L, M, I, Y, and P, M, and T. So we've got two M's. We've got J, T, L, I, Y, and P. And a G. Okay. So hopefully those might give you some kind of idea. Maybe those are for names. So I've got the number one. Number one is about manifestation. And again, you are manifesting right now. Knowing what you want is really important, because even though it doesn't feel like a very comfortable place for you right now, you're clearing space for what you actually want. So knowing what you want is going to get you there. So, and I've also got make and some. You could be making or creating something. What is some? Let me get some greater clarity on some. Everything's going to feel a little bit unstable right now, but ultimately this is moving you towards stability and independence. This is moving you away from things that aren't maintainable, because maybe whatever the other part of the situation is not putting in the necessary effort, or it's just so unstable it can't stand. It's just healing is coming for you. I'm getting like right now you may be a little bit not terribly happy about what's going on, but it's like it's time. Things that aren't steady and stable enough for you are leaving because it's just time for them to do so. We've got and. So what is and? Nine of Swords. I feel like you need to do your best to control your fear, because uncertainty, even though it doesn't feel like you're moving to greater stability, but you are. So there's this uncertainty, and that adds to there being this fear. But it's just, right now the universe is driving and bringing you to something better. And it just, the best thing to do is just avoid resistance. And just know that you're dealing with the now. Not what was, not what you want. You do need to know what you want to happen, but it's probably not going to happen how you wanted it to happen. So have some faith when you're moving forward, because it doesn't feel like it right now, but you are moving forward to happiness. We've got hashtag and heart. So I feel like, just be as graceful as you can in this process. Move forward as much emotionally as you can. Let's get a little clarity for the hashtag 3 of Swords. You're really going to have an opportunity to move forward away from heartbreak. So I hope that this helped you. If you do want a free reading, I'm giving away 2 as soon as I hit 8,000 subscribers. So just be subscribed and comment, and you are in the running for that giveaway. I want to say thank you to everybody who's been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and booking readings. It all matters, and I'm really appreciative. Right now, my turnaround time is about 48 hours. So just, if you do want to contact me, my email's in the description right below the timestamps. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to our gorgeous pile number 2s. Pile number 2, my gorgeous angels. Advice for the next 7 days. Advice for the next 7 days for pile number 2. Strength. 2 of Wands. You're going to be in a place of, strength and courage, which you're going to have a choice to make. And you have a lot to gain by being brave. But it's not like you won't be experiencing fear. Just know that it's like, don't choose fear, because the upside is going to be absolutely amazing if you're in your strength. You're going to have a decision to make on how you move forward. It might be moving, it might be changing jobs, it could be a lot of things, or it could be towards a very healthy relationship. But you will have to decide between being brave or being scared. We've got death with the fear. I don't know if there is some kind of transformation here. I don't know whether it's a transformation within you or a transformation within somebody else. It is interesting that is right next to that fear. So I don't know if you got to a point where you were really able to come out of a place of fear into being very strong, very self-controlled, very able to just overcome whatever is in front of you. Tell me more about this death card, this transition. Ace of Pentacles. If you choose to be brave, your life is going to look totally different and really blessed. So we've got the Four of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles out of transition, a brand new beginning, this beautiful gift, this tangible thing that you'll be able to touch, taste, feel, just something that really is going to show change. Tell me, some of you may be moving and are finding a really wonderful home for yourself. Some of you are coming into alignment with somebody that is balanced and really you can have this really happy, stable relationship with. Some of you, if you're facing your fears, you're going to come into union with somebody. But don't let your fear drive, because your fear isn't good at it. And as I said that, it wasn't 2222. I thought it was. So just know that, like, the Two of Wands is half of the story here. There's another person that, if this is romantic, there'd be another person who has their stuff balanced out. But for you, you're just being asked to be brave and be strong, knowing that you have the ability to do so. And that if you do, it's going to change everything. Temperance, peace, healing, coming into union possibly with somebody. It's just you have so much to gain. And sometimes there are real things to fear in life, but I'm getting that right now for you, the only thing to fear is the fear. Yeah. Because you need to make a real decision. You need to put action behind it. But if you're keeping, it's like you can have calm, you can have peace, you have the capability Like, if you're afraid of taking the step because you think it's just you really, the highest and best route, it's like there's nothing to lose by going forward, and there's everything to lose by not. Yeah. Just know that if you're a coward, you're going to miss a really good opportunity. Knight of Wands. There's just a real need to take action. This isn't, I mean, there's nothing wrong with stopping and thinking about things, but this is not the time to do it. This is the time to be brave, to take action, to get your calm together, to make that move, to not let this amazing opportunity pass you by. And this blessing is going to come through your action. So, you know, if you suspect something is a really good thing, and you're just a little afraid, I just let it go. Just take the blessing that's in front of you. Advice for the next 7 days. Advice for the next 17 days. Queen of Wands. Yeah, you're really being asked to be proactive, to be brave, to take action on what you're passionate about. I feel like you have some conflict. Is this conflict with somebody else? I really feel like most of this conflict is internal to yourself. But you have the Queen of Wands, the Two of Wands came out twice, the Three of Wands, and the Four of Wands. If you just focus on what you actually want instead of what you're afraid of, things are going to go really well. So no procrastination for the next 7 days. I say as I pull the Hermit. But the Knight of Wands came out twice, and I feel like you're the Queen of Wands. Like today, it's right now is about taking action. I don't know if you're in the Hermit space, so you maybe haven't been taking a lot of action, or you need to look inside and see why you are in fear or why you're in conflict. But ultimately, you should be taking action. Because the only thing that's really in your way, in this particular case, in this particular pile, if it doesn't feel like you, choose another one. But right now, the only thing that is in your way is you. And the upside, yeah, you know, that might be an ego bruise, but ultimately, that means that you're in control of the only thing that's in your way. So, you can really ensure success for yourself. Breathe, find your center, and then continue. Yeah, you may have to take some moments, make yourself, get your calm back, but don't stop working, don't stop moving forward. Forget the filters, be the real you. Whatever you're doing, you know, you being the real you, you being the brave version of you, you know, you might have to take a moment, breathe a little bit, but I'm getting like work through your fear. We've got be still. It's interesting. Are you supposed to be still? I feel like you haven't been taking action on something that you need to take action on. We've got that and the Hermit. We've also, 5 is the number on top. 5 is about change. And the Knight of Wands comes out a third time. There's something you're procrastinating about. Stop doing that. There's only so many times that the perfect opportunity can be offered to you if you don't take it. Yeah, you're being asked to be confident. I feel like you're being asked to really manifest your fire energy. Wands, wands, wands all the way. Follow your inspiration. Follow your passion. Take action. This is really, really just like take the time, whatever you need to center yourself and take action, because right now you've just got so much to gain. And the only thing the only thing that's keeping you from winning is taking some kind of action. So get out of your own way. Embrace your fire energy. Embrace your passion. Ooh, I've got two, because these are about taking steps forward, but I've got two of them. So I don't know if you and another person are taking steps forward, or you really just have to double step taking some steps forward. I've got sadness and a grin. So, and we also had temperance. I feel like you could definitely, even if you're feeling sad, I feel like just do what you can to moderate your emotions. If you're really high one moment, really low another one, I feel like you get yourself into a more balanced place. I've got the letter J and Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is about using, your strength, embracing your strength, using your strength for good, but turning over a new leaf. I feel like, and between that and the Death card, change. I'm also getting, like with the Fear and the Death card, you may have to do some change in order to avoid a tower. So, I mean, overall, everything, like if you're taking action, if you're, taking control of your fear, if you're breathing and then moving forward, if you're being the real you, if you're just taking action, that's all good. I've got the turtle, that's slow and steady move forward. It can also be about longevity. I feel like there's something that's regarding your longevity, your long-term success, it's something that you need to take action on now. I've got the glow-in-the-dark stone. Glow-in-the-dark stone is about seeing something that you didn't see before, but you really have so much to gain here. You have so much to gain here. And it's going to bring a lot of value to your life. It's going to bring stability to your life. And I feel like it's going to bring in really valuable connections. The only thing that you need to remember to do is take action. Breathe through any fear you have. With the 11 card and the broom, it's like that's about sweeping things away, and it could be about sweeping away, letting your fear control you. But it's all going to lead to, with the bouquet, that is appreciation. So I'm really getting the big takeaway for you is fear. You can't let fear do the choosing for you. You have so much to gain. And the only thing that will keep you from it is your fear. It's just it's like nothing is in your way anymore except for your fear. So let yourself have a new beginning. If you need to take a moment to breathe through that fear, But don't let the things that are really valuable pass you by. Because that, if you don't act in your courage and if you don't act in your strength, that's what you're doing. So I hope that this helps you. If you do want a free reading, I'm going to give away 2 as soon as I hit 8,000 subscribers. So be subscribed and comment, and you are in the running for that. If you do want to book with me, my email's in the description right below the timestamps. Right now, my turnaround time is about 48 hours, so just make sure that you contact me if you do run a reading. So my gorgeous pile number 3. Pile number 3, my gorgeous angels. Advice for the next 7 days. Woo! 2 had strength come out as the first card. So, as well. So, advice for the next 7 days for the gorgeous pile number 3. Strength, 4 of Swords, Ace of Cups. You're coming out of, like, you've done a lot of work, and you're coming out of healing into an emotional new beginning. Are you coming into, I feel like you experienced a really difficult ending, but in the next 7 days, there's going to be an opportunity for a new beginning for you. I feel like you've done a lot of work. Now, you do need to make sure that you're being brave, that you're, you do have to be courageous, you do have to be strong, but you're going to have an emotional new beginning, and it's going to be something that's steady and stable. And you've done the necessary healing work. You definitely could be coming into, you're coming into celebration and stability and good times. For some of you, with this emotional new beginning and the 4 of Wands, you're going to have a new beginning in a really positive relationship. Advice for the next 7 days. I mean, it does require, you to be strong. It does require for you to be in a place where you're overcoming, fear or doubt, but I feel like for the most part, you've done the work. You've had some kind of negative ending, but it's all actually really getting a lot better. Advice for pile number 3. With the 7 of Pentacles. It could be maybe something that has been a long time coming. Maybe something that the seeds were planted a while ago. It's a chance. Yeah, something. Oh, 10 of Wands though. We've got the 10 of Swords and the 10 of Wands. Those are the not quite as fun 10s of the deck. I feel like you're maybe holding on to some kind of burden relating to your healing. I feel like it is important to you to release that burden so that you can let your brand new emotional and brand new stable beginning happen. King of Cups. Some of you, for a lot of you, this is regarding a relationship. So either you're going to get a offer from somebody who has a lot of love and caring for you, or you're going to be in a place to make an offer to somebody that you really care about. But I don't know if this is somebody from your past or not. I know that there's things that you need to let go of. Like things that you may still be holding on to regarding maybe the pain that you experienced in that cycle. Or, I don't know, maybe even if you might not have acted perfectly yourself and, and you may be holding on to a lot of guilt. But it's the King of Cups and the Ace of Cups. A new emotional beginning and a very emotionally mature. I feel like right now it's important to act in a very strong, very emotionally mature way. Advice for the next 7 days for the gorgeous pile number 3. Ooh. 7 of Swords. I don't know if some of you avoided something that maybe, because this is bad behavior. This is, I don't know, is this to do with that King of Cups? I feel like you may have had a difficult ending because of not great behavior on somebody else's part. Or if you were avoiding something that you really shouldn't have avoided, it could be that you could be holding on to some guilt regarding that. Especially since it might have kept things, yes. Quite possibly some guilt and fear regarding that. I think that it's important to be brave, not be in this cycle of fear, like you can only move forward from now. For some of you, maybe because you have experienced rough situations, you may have this fear that, this is going to happen again. For some of you, you may have really lost out on something because you didn't act right. Maybe you weren't giving in the situation. Maybe you were avoiding, you were so caught up in your own fear, perhaps, that you weren't being fair. But there's an ability to break out of the cycle, have a new beginning, but it's not going to happen with fear taking control. It's going to help you release. I feel like there's a need for you to look inside to release the burden that you're holding on to. And the 7 of Swords comes out again, and the Devil comes out again. Well, the first time the Devil coming out. I feel like this can go one of two ways. Either you might have not acted ideally in some kind of situation that caused things to fall apart, or you've dealt in a pattern of behavior with somebody that was really unhealthy, really selfish, really just, maybe avoidant, but it just was an unhealthy pattern. The 10 of Swords is a good thing in that case because the 10 of Swords is an end. And we have, the first thing that came out was a Strength card. So if you have been perpetuating some kind of unhealthy pattern in your life, that can be ended. You can have a new, steady, stable pattern. And if you've been dealing with people who are not the most savory, you've been doing a lot of healing and a lot of self-growth So you don't have to be part of that cycle again. You don't need to pick the same kind of people that cause you this heartbreak. So know that a new beginning's on the table. Know that if you do whatever inner work that you need to do, it's going to help you break out of negative patterns. And it's going to help, you're just going to have a new, steady, stable beginning. But right now, I feel like the best advice is to remain self-controlled, to not let fear be in charge, to make sure that you're acting from your heart space in a very emotionally mature way. Believe. I feel like there's a lot of reasons to believe in things being better, things getting better. I feel like you have a lot more control than you may know. But you have the ability to start over, mean what you say and say what you mean. It really is that simple. So if you've been dealing with people who've been sneaky, this is, it's simple. If somebody's words and actions don't match, then they're disqualified from your life. It doesn't mean that they're, anything horrible needs to happen to them. It's just there's no space in your life. If you haven't been completely perfect in the past, you need to say what you mean and mean what you say. Have that strength, have that character. And it's going to take you from these really difficult endings into that Ace of Cups, that Ace of Pentacles. Just know that you're just going to make your life simpler by no longer engaging in these patterns that don't help you. You bought a whole calendar full of daily advice on how to live your best life, so why don't you just do it? If you already know what you need to do, you're being told to do it. Even if you weren't perfect, even if, so if you already know that some situation is awful and toxic for you, you know what to do. And if you know that something that you've been doing isn't working, you know what to do. And you are strong enough to do it. You've done a lot of the healing work necessary, but some things just need to be cut out. Whether it's your own actions or just dealing with other people who, are controlling or obsessive or possessive or jealous, sometimes jealous, or really, there's a block that you have that you can just cut out of your life. We've got the Eight of Wands. So with the Eight of Wands, it might take some energy and effort. Like you might have to really hack, I guess, for better or worse as a metaphor, like really, take a couple side swings at that pattern or that block. But if you know something's unhealthy for you, you can walk away. And if you've been doing something that's unhealthy, you have the ability to look deeply at yourself and take better actions. But ultimately, what you will get out of it is a new beginning emotionally, and a new beginning in stability. and finishing your healing journey towards being this best version of self. Just remember, just because you haven't always been your best version of self doesn't mean that this very moment you can't make decisions towards being the best version of yourself now. I've got the soft heart and the lovebirds. Some of you, you could be having some kind of soulmate, soul tie, or you making these changes or bringing in this new emotional beginning, which will bring in this relationship. Or, if you haven't acted perfectly right in a relationship, this is going to be an opportunity to really put things back together, because I also got the damaged connection. So you may have a damaged connection between you and somebody else, and maybe this is somebody that you need to leave behind. Or maybe if you haven't acted well, maybe this is going to be an opportunity to fix the connection. Because, there could definitely be a very valuable connection here that could have ended very badly. With the crown, you may have to show somebody that you really appreciate them. Especially if maybe you ran from a situation, it ended up not being the right thing to do. You may have to let the other person really know that you appreciate them. If you are moving away from something toxic, I feel like you really need to realize that you're valuable, that you can only continue to deal in relationships in which people treat you with the value, with that value. And again, that'll bring you this soft heart, this romance. I've only got one letter on this one. It's a E. I've got 7. 7 is about you're moving more into spiritual alignment. And with the panda bear, there's maybe some kind of need for intimacy. Because I've got the soft heart, the lovebirds, and intimacy. I've also got the wolf, loyalty, fierce loyalty. Again, I feel like for some of you, you're breaking out of a really negative pattern with somebody else, or you're breaking out of a negative pattern with yourself. But I've also got life force. So I feel like you might have somebody that's very significantly bound to you. That there could be more intimacy. There could be more loyalty. There could be just overall more connection. But I feel like there is some kind of need to take action on that. There is a need to cut out things that don't fit with that. And even if you're, if you've been in a situation and you are not the more toxic person in that connection, you still have to cut out anything that isn't serving you, because that creates a block for you. So you may not have done anything horrible in this connection, but if you are still holding on to something that doesn't treat you well, that doesn't serve you, that just hurts you, you need to face your fears and move away from that. It doesn't mean that you're wrong for caring about somebody that, in their particular state of healing is not going to act in a very great way. But ultimately, it's just, I feel like you need to believe that if you've done wrong, that you can find some redemption. That you don't have to just hold on to this for forever. If you've dealt with a really rough situation, you can move into a much better situation. It's like you can do the healing, you can move on to a better situation. I feel like you just need to believe that you don't, that things can get better, because they can. But if you're doing anything toxic, you need to stop. And if you're continuing to deal with somebody who's toxic, they're already showed you who they are. So I hope that this helps. I really appreciate you. If you do want a free reading, I'm giving away 2 as soon as I hit 8,000 subscribers. So just make sure that you are subscribed and you comment and you're in the running for those. I appreciate you as always. If you want to book with me, my email's in the description right below the timestamps. Right now, my readings are about 48 hours out. So I deeply appreciate you, and we're going to move on to our gorgeous pile number 4. Ooh, pile number 4, my angels. First card out is, you've got a brand new beginning, a clean slate. What do you want? Because this is where anything can happen. 7 of Pentacles. I feel like you may have been working, you have planted some seeds. And I feel like whatever seeds that you've planted, I feel like they're really coming close to fruition. Because whatever risk you're taking, whatever, I feel like you've come to the realization that you can make anything happen. And you're moving towards success. You're taking action on something that you have a great deal of passion for, and that is absolutely going to lead to success for you. You occasionally do need to consider your mental state, though. That mental state, though. Because your own particular mental state is the only thing that can hold you back at this point. And you may have experienced a lot of setbacks, and they're not really a thing for you anymore. But I looked down and it was 57, 57, 5757. So even though these limitations in your mind, you know, it's like they're not a limitation for you anymore. You got a clear slate. You're moving on to winning. But occasionally you're going to have to sort out your mind and realize that anything that was a limitation before isn't a limitation. It just isn't. And you need to release that burden so you can just let things really accelerate for you. Because we've got the 10 of Wands and the Ace of Wands. The beginning and an end, the beginning of a new cycle and the end of an old one. And I feel like the only thing that's possibly going to keep you in the old one is believing that you do have more limitations than you actually do. But yeah, I see moving forward on some inspiration, creating success for yourself, taking really necessary risks, leaving things behind that don't serve you, and having things that maybe have been a long time coming come into fruition for you. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. You're going to see, in in the next 7 days, you're going to see some of the fruit of your labor. And the only thing, you know, I feel like you just need to be careful of self-talk and really just be careful of holding on to the old cycle too much. Because doing that, because the 7 of Cups were on there, it's going to distract you from what really matters. And what you're having here is healing. What you're having here is fruition. What you're having here is success. So you've done a really good job. But make sure that you're not just holding on to, you know, every limitation that you've ever thought of, or anybody's ever tried to impose on you, because you're just in a new cycle, and all of this is leading towards healing and fruition of what the seeds that you've planted, and success. Advice for the next 7 days. Yeah, you are going to have to take control of your mind. Because fear, sleepless nights, I mean, maybe maybe like you're having this big new opportunity and you're not sure if it's going to work, but for the most part, it's going to work. But you need to get out of your head. Feel like this right now, it's more about taking action, but it's certainly not about limiting yourself. It's like anything that you think is a limitation right now really isn't. And you just need to deal with your fear and anxiety and the parts of your mind that tell you that you're limited, because you're really not. Yeah. Ace of Wands to the 3 of Wands. You've been manifesting something. And you're going to be really taking some action towards what you've manifested. And that is going to lead to success. King of Wands. Wands, wands, wands. Actions, actions, actions. Get out of your head. You've already played the long game. You've already thought about what you wanted. You've already planted seeds. It's time for those seeds to grow. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is moving forward with a plan. Yeah, but I'm also getting, like, it may have been a long time coming, but I feel like you're going to be reaching fruition on things that maybe you plant the seeds for a long time ago. But that Ace of Pentacles is already going to be here. So I'm just getting for you, get out of your head, take action. Stability is just coming for you. But you might be a little focused on what's been lost. And that might keep you from fully appreciating, but the 2 of Cups is right behind you. I feel like the 2 of Cups is right behind you. The 6 of Cups is, not the 6 of Cups, I'm sorry. The 6 of Wands is right there. You need to be able to shift focus, to not necessarily just be focused on what's been lost, what hardships you've gone through, but seeing the benefits, seeing the silver lining, seeing the fruits of your labor come through. The Hierophant. A Hierophant can be about rules, can be about societal pressures, it can be about marriage, it can be about commitment. Maybe you have some regrets regarding a commitment, but I'm getting that everything's happening for you, but you may need to shift your attitude a little bit so that you can see the blessings that are upon you, so that you're not so focused on holding on to an end of an old cycle, so that you can have, because, you know, maybe you're going to get a different commitment with a different person than you originally built up with. Or, you know, that's for some of you, definitely. But the Two of Cups, that love, that respect, that reciprocation is going to be there. Second time the King of Wands has come out. I'm really getting like right now is about taking action. Whatever you want, don't hesitate. Go for it. You've got the Three of Swords, so you've definitely dealt with some heartache. Are you going after this heartache? I feel like there is a need for you to prioritize. There is a need for you to realize you're not stuck in some way. But you've also got some kind of long-term manifestation that you have the ability to bring together fully. So let's get you a clarity on this Three of Swords. Two of Swords. I feel like there's some kind of heartbreak that you experienced, and that heartbreak is clouding your vision. The Eight of Swords jumped out at that moment too, going back to having a prison of your own mind. I feel like you just need to know that you don't have to be stuck in heartbreak. That there's nothing, like, you can take the blindfold off. Those are two blindfolded cards. It's like you're just not limited in the way that you think you might be. You're just not. And yes, you experienced heartbreak. And yes, that heartbreak has made your mind not very clear. But there's this, leaving this, all behind, taking a risk, starting a new cycle, having this clean slate. So I feel like you may need to be reminded that you do have a clean slate. That anything that you want to happen can happen. Now, people have free will. And Three of Cups came out. People have free will, so not everybody is, like, you can want an amazing relationship, but you might not be able to have it with somebody who's not a very healthy person. And whether or not somebody heals is up to them. It's not up to us. Whether we heal is up to us. So with the Three of Cups, this is celebration. It can be a third party for some of you. Why is the Three of Cups here? I feel like, all right, this sounds like something that might make some people not as happy, but this is from the universe, not from me. It's like, I feel like you need to lighten up your energy just a little bit. I feel like you need to take some moment and just enjoy the simple stuff. Some of you are coming into some kind of relationship. All of you are coming into greater stability as long as you just... Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of lightening up, but... Wands, Wands, Wands. I feel like we've got the King of Wands with the Knight of Wands, which is a good stabilizing force for it. I feel like you've got a lot of fear, you got a lot of thoughts. Sometimes your mind isn't doing you any favors here. But I feel like lighten up, take action, and accept that the things that you have manifested are manifesting, like they're happening. But realize that you can be so lost looking at something that fell over that you don't notice the blessings that are actually there for you. So make sure that you haven't just blindfolded yourself to other blessings that you could possibly be having right now. Don't let things replace moments, people, and experiences. I feel like it's very important to pay attention to the people around you, pay attention to the people who actually care about you, especially if you have dealt with people who don't. Don't let social media confuse you. You're just where you need to be. I feel like you need to not be focusing on how anybody else, what anybody else is doing, or how anybody else shows their social media to be. It's just a very curated version of a person that may or may not even be true. Celebration. And yeah, I feel like for the next 7 days, you should just really try to have some fun. And really make sure that you're putting your time and energy into people and experiences that are really beneficial, really helpful to you, really loving and supportive of you. You certainly shouldn't be obsessing about somebody else's social media. It's just not a very active, it's just not that healthy. Some of you are really bringing in love. Yeah, key to love. Lovebirds. Prosperity. So I feel like some of you are getting benefits in both love and in prosperity. We've got a bunch of letters on this one, so let's go through them. We've got A, O, and I, D, G, B, and E, and U. A lot of vowels. I think we do have A, E, I, O, U. Yeah. And then B as in boy, G as in goat, and D as in dog. So, friend. I really think that right now it's going to be a really good thing to hang out with friends. Of course, there are limitations because of the general world right now. Depending on when you're watching this, it is 2021. But I feel like anything that you can be doing to reinforce your relationships, realizing that, like you're really out of one cycle into another cycle, and I feel like that's going to help you let go of that pain that's really not helping you. I feel like a lot of you really dealt with some kind of messed up relationship, messed up connection. Maybe it wasn't it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship, but it's just something that wasn't serving the purpose. It was just bent and deformed and painful. And I feel like you do have healthy connections in your life. So I feel like right now, as you're manifesting, as your success is coming, as you're getting your new start, I feel like it's important for you to celebrate. It's important for you to recognize how far you've gotten. And it's important to make sure that, if you can't be with people that are friends physically, that you're not isolating yourself from the people who really do care about you, from the people who really do offer that reciprocation, love, and respect. With the pyramid and the horn of plenty, yeah, there's a lot of things that are just really like your ship is coming in. The things that you've planted, they're going to take root. They've taken root, and they're going to. There's going to be fruit. There's going to be fruition. I feel like you've done a lot to grow, to come out of a place of, maybe just taking care of your survival needs, to really being able to come to a point where you can grow so much more. And I've got song. I started hearing that old Sheryl Crow song, "It's time to lighten up." So I'm like, I feel that wasn't a very good rendition, but I feel like maybe, some of you could be writing a song. Others of you, I feel like, let music give you some kind of emotional boost. But it's like things are better than you're letting yourself believe that they are. So once you can, once you get out of your head a little bit, I feel like you're really going to recognize, sometimes we take losses, but some things are more important, so I feel like anybody who's really there for you, anybody who's, whether it's family, whether it's found family, whether it's best friends, whether, anybody who really cares about you, I feel like it's really important to be around that energy. We've got with the little Converse shoe, you're moving forward, you're stepping forward. I feel like you may not feel like it, but you're in alignment. And you only don't feel like it because, you've had that heartbreak, you still feel limited, you're still holding on to other things, but I feel like you need to understand how fierce and strong and powerful you are. So for most of you, you got to get out of your head, take actions, and spend time with people who really care about you. But that's all going to be an improvement. Yeah, peace. You're really going to have an opportunity to come to peace with what has happened, really have the opportunity for new and better things. But I feel like you had the Tower. Some of you might have been self-isolating. But I also get, with that Six of Swords, it's like you're coming to peace. If you have been self-isolating, that's not doing you any good. And just know that you're moving on to calmer waters, but you do need to shift focus away from what's been lost to what hasn't been. To, just there, and just know that there's clean slate, brand new beginning, so many brand new beginnings. I feel like at least 3 brand new beginnings. I feel like you're already on a different cycle, and it's almost like you just don't recognize it right now, because the pain and regret has kind of clouded your vision a little bit. But it's one of those things where it's already better. So I feel like you do need to find your fun, find your joy, find your happiness. Because you're already manifesting in what you wanted. It may not come exactly how you expected to, but it will be what you asked for. If you wanted to have love, you're going to manifest in love. You're going to manifest in the type of love that you wanted. But it could be with a different person than you originally were thinking of. Just because it has to be somebody that is in alignment with you. So I hope that this helps. I really appreciate you. And thank you so much.